My name is Debbie Jacobs, and I wanted to do a video. Listen, let me tell you something. I am healed. I am free. I am happy to be free. I have positive thoughts, healthy self esteem, and positive effective coping skills. That's the process of healing, going from negative thoughts, low self esteem, negative, ineffective coping skills, and mental illness to positive thoughts, positive, effective coping skills, healthy self esteem, and freedom and happiness. This is the time of the spiritual awakening. That is the spiritual awakening. And you know what you need to accomplish the spiritual awakening? You need to have the positive thoughts, you need to have the healthy self esteem, and you need to be able to get out of the ego self. Because it takes the death of the ego to awaken your beautiful, authentic self. And the spiritual awakening is actually, when we go from our ego self to our beautiful, authentic self, and our ego self dies, and our beautiful, authentic self awakens and is conscious and is free. And that's, where positive thoughts and healthy self esteem live. Negative thoughts and low self esteem and mental illness live in the ego self. And the ego self is the self that we develop into over the course of our childhood from hurt. We develop into the ego self, the hurt self, because of the hurt that we, experienced during the developmental part of our life. Children are not children. They're in the developmental phase of the adult that they are meant to be. And if it isn't, if it isn't, successfully done, kids will end up in the hurt self. And you know what causes the hurt self? Punishment. Not good. Not good for kids. Not good for kids while they're in the developmental phase of their life. It actually is better for adults when they already have effective coping skills. You want to hit someone who has coping skills to defend themselves, who can reconcile it and be okay. Kids don't have that. And also, we cannot hit kids, on a regular basis for 18 years. I know that I was hit in the crib, and the last time I was hit, I was 21. You cannot live, all those years and have fear be a factor. That leads to fear-based thinking, negative thinking. And basically, once you're in once you're a negative thinker, it takes a spiritual awakening to get back to the person that you were meant to be, to undo the damage done from hurt. The ineffective coping skills, anger, fear, worry, insecurity, doubt, shame, guilt, shyness, sensitivity. All these things that don't make us feel good about ourselves. And then you have to, get rid of feeling bad about yourself, putting yourself down, which is, a learned behavior. When you put someone down, you teach them to put themselves down. And the spiritual awakening gets us back to our positive self. The ego self is the negative self, the negative thinker and low self-esteem. Not feeling good about ourselves, mental illness, not feeling good about ourselves. And let me tell you something. The spiritual awakening is not like, poof, okay, you're awake. It is the hardest thing, that I have ever been through. And it took me 5 years to accomplish my healing. But I did, accomplish freedom and happiness and positive thoughts, and mastery of the mind, mastery of my emotions, mastery of self, and my greatness. Because let me tell you something, going through the process, takes greatness. By going through the process, you develop your greatness. You gotta just need, all you need is commitment and determination. Make a promise to yourself that you're gonna see this to the end. See the healing process. Do whatever it takes. The quality of your life depends on it. But let me tell you something. It is a real possibility and an option for us all. We don't have to go to our graves with our negative thoughts, ineffective coping skills, and low self-esteem. But getting out of ego is very difficult. I mean, it really is going to take your determination to get out of ego, and you have to be willing to stomach, some emotion, some feelings that don't feel good. Invalidation doesn't feel good, but it leads you to validation and to freedom and to positivity and to happiness. But you got to really get through, some tough feelings and be a soldier in the process. You got to just soldier up and say, you know what, I'm willing to do whatever it takes for my own happiness. I mean, we have one life to live. And every day in unhappiness is a day that, you could have created happiness. And healing is what's going to get you there. After healing comes happiness and freedom. And and it's a time sensitive issue, because it takes a while to go through the healing process. It's not an easy process, and it takes stopping ineffective behaviors that don't serve you and replacing with effective behaviors that do serve you and create positive thoughts. Ineffective behaviors create negative thoughts and low self-esteem. Effective coping skills create positive thoughts and healthy self-esteem. If you're operating, you're feeling good if you're operating with positive thoughts and handling situations with positivity and effectively. This can all be learned. Everything about us can change. That's called the transformation of self. Going from the ego self to the beautiful, authentic self, the self that we were meant to be. Going from the inauthentic self to the authentic self. Going from the negative self to the positive self. Going from the from unhappiness to happiness. Going from imprisonment to freedom. Going from bad qualities to good qualities. Going from low self-esteem to healthy self-esteem. So it is really a great opportunity. It's a great opportunity. Our mind can really be pretty negative and turned against us and put us down. And undermine our own happiness, undermine our own confidence, our own dreams, shoot us in the foot. We don't have to live our life like that. It's not easy to accomplish transformation and positive thoughts. But you know what? I'm the person. I accomplished it myself. I told you it took me 5 years to work on my healing. I created an app that reprograms the subconscious mind, and I used it and had successful results. and accomplish positive thinking. But a lot of it is manual work, not with the app. The app is the very last step. That is like the icing on the cake. We have to prepare the cake first. And preparing the cake is getting rid of all the negativity, because you can't reprogram a negative mind to positivity. You have to get rid of all the negativity, and then you reprogram when all the negativity is out. And then what ends up happening is that you are able to accomplish positive thinking, because I would get the negativity out, but I still had my thoughts would be coming to me negative, and I would reframe it to positive, and then but I still would have negative thoughts coming to my mind, positive. That's what the reprogramming is for. When I used the app to reprogram my mind, I was able, my thoughts started flowing positively. And then that's it. But you have to learn how to think positively first. And that's a process. And I actually have a mastery of thought program where I teach positive thinking, and we reprogram the mind, and we learn new effective coping skills to go with, the positive thinking. And in order to accomplish, the positive thinking and the positive effective coping skills, we first have to deal with the negative thinking and the negative ineffective coping skills. We got to get rid of the negative ineffective coping skills. That's a spiritual awakening. So my name is Debbie Jacobs, and I'm going to tell you something. I hope that people will see this and say, hey, you know what? I want to focus on my happiness. I want to improve my life. I want to be free of negative thoughts and negative ineffective coping skills that don't serve me. I want to fix all my flaws because you found somebody who could help you, and get you the results as soon as possible. Because I know that you want to get to your happiness as soon as possible. And the healing process, is the means to accomplish it, but you don't want to be healing for the next 10 years. You want to get to your happiness as soon as possible, because after healing comes happiness. So, all right, my name is Debbie Jacobs, and I hope that you have a good day, and I'll see you next time. Take care. Bye-bye.